Hey YouTube, JT here. Carter here. What's going on, guys? Quick EDC update. Quick, more than just an EDC update. Got my bobblehead alien back here in the background. Very cool guy. Anyway, so, more than just an EDC update here, fellas. I have been carrying well, first of all, I put this up for sale. My Chris Reeve Um-num-zahn. I put this up for sale on the USN for $375, I think, is what I put it up for. I'd only carried it maybe once or twice. No markings on it. You know, practically brand new. Didn't really get any bites. I had one person kind of inquire about it, but that's it. So I decided rather than keep lowering the price, I would pull it and not sell it. And I'm glad I did, because after the fact I thought, what the hell, how about I carry this? And so I've been carrying this for the last 3 days, which for me is quite the accomplishment. I rarely go over one consecutive day per knife. I mean, I've got knives that I carry more than others and fairly often, but as far as carrying knives consecutively, multiple days in a row, look how that blings off there. That's cool, huh? I don't do it very often, and it's kind of funny that the knife that I was about to sell, I ended up keeping and carrying, and I'm going to carry it again tomorrow. It's actually just a pleasure, just a treat to carry this baby. Goes in the pocket so nice. Really good weight on it. You know, you can tell you've got a knife, but it's not too heavy. Just a beautiful blade. I guess I'm not sure why I didn't really like it. I think there's a few little small things. I don't like how it has these little plastic grommets on there. And from what I understand, they're just simply there to kind of deaden the sound. And if you were to take them off, it would lock up just fine. But the idea of just having, you know, something fairly fragile like that on my knife just turned me off originally. I've gotten past that now. The other thing with this knife is it's pretty stiff. And I just mean, even if you remove all the tension on the lock bar, it is not very smooth. Just the pivot's a little too tight. And so I went ahead and ordered the pivot tool for it. By the way, the latest edition of this does not have this pivot. It has a standard kind of Sebenza-ish pivot that can be adjusted with a, I think it's a hex bit. I'm torn. You know, I like the idea of being able to easily adjust that pivot, but at the same time, this one just looks so cool. Looks so cool. The tool for this is very affordable, you know, compared to a Microtech or something. It's like, I think I got it for 16 bucks, and it actually comes with two, and then it also comes with a hex drivers, 2 hex drivers, which you use to help turn and also to do this back pivot here. So I'll be doing a takedown video of this when it comes. But the other thing that kind of turned me off on this knife is just its untraditional lockup. You can see how it seems fairly late, and you know, it is actually kind of late. If you actually look at where the ceramic ball's traveling, it's traveling past 50%. But in order for that ball to work, it needs to move in. You know, check out Smoke Eater 908's video. He explains and takes it apart and shows it and stuff. And that's part of the reason why this is designed how it is. How this lock bar tab is, you know, fairly aggressive, comes straight out. That's because that'll allow you to get good purchase on that lock bar, because it is designed to come in further than what you would typically see. And it's kind of a hard thing to get over, because you're used to the idea of that lock bar traveling over fairly quickly in the knife's life. So you see something like this and you're like, man, you know, I open it a few hundred times and it's going to be touching the liner and all this stuff. But that's not the case at all. That ceramic ball, ceramic is very, very hard. Very hard. Possibly harder than this steel itself. In fact, I think it is. It actually kind of wears a little channel into that tang right there. So yeah, I mean, it stays put. I've seen um-num-zahns that have been carried for 2 years, and the lockup looks exactly like this. But it's taken me these 3 days to kind of get past those little things, and I have just really, really grown to love this knife. It's just really, really nice. I love it a lot. Definitely would recommend picking one up. Like I mentioned, just be prepared for some features on it that may be a little different than what you're used to in typical frame locks. But yeah, and that, by the way, is the reason they put the lock stabilizer on here, because people were complaining about how stiff. Oh, the lock bar's pretty stiff too, and I suspect the reason for that is the ultra hard surface of the ceramic ball hitting the ultra hard surface of the steel. It can cause slippage, you know, and you can actually, if you really push on it, you can feel it kind of move. And I've seen people do spine whack tests. This knife will fail fairly, well, I hate to say fail. This knife will close under that kind of abuse fairly early, maybe earlier than some knives. And that's the reason why, because you've got two surfaces that are very hard, and there's not a ton of actual contact space. You can actually see that line right there. That's all the contact it's making. So to circumvent this, I suspect, this is just theory here, thoughts, I suspect Chris Reeve wanted to make sure that this lock bar, you know, is strong enough to keep everything in place. If you... Actually, I'm not going to say that. Never mind. Sorry. I was going to mention another video that I haven't actually posted yet for some reason. And this one will probably go up before that. So anyways, I do have a knife that... Never mind. Yeah, absolutely awesome blade. Umnumzaan. Amazing knife. Love it. I think I prefer this pivot, even though the hassle of the proprietary, even though there's a hassle with that, slight hassle, not a big deal, it just looks so much nicer. You know, it's kind of the flagship of this model too, you know, that pivot. You know, it's kind of what makes it unique. So I think I actually prefer this setup. I like the lock bar stabilizer. I think it looks cool. I like the circle, how it kind of goes in contrast to these milling lines right here. I like it. Some people don't. In fact, Smoke Eater specifically found one that did not have that on there. He wanted a second. He looked specifically for one without that. I like that, and I like this pivot right here. So yeah, this is my favorite configuration. Sorry this video's gone so long. Alright guys, take it easy.